Hello, welcome to Animal Audit Corner. Scientology and Chase Bank. Chase Bank was, and I'm telling you today about Scientology and Chase Bank. Chase Bank was founded in 1799 in New York by John Thompson, who was a financial publisher. The entire bank has been in operation for 225 years and is still in business into 2025. They have a good top quality since the day Chase opened their doors. People like their mortgage rates, business, and personal banking services. Scientology had walked right into the picture, and they are known to cause so much havoc to every business. Chase is better off without Scientology and will get more customers without them. Apparently, Scientology had the members of the Sea Org take out a 3-line of credit in their name. They would even go as far as pressuring them when having them take out those lines of credit. They would even also use deceit to get them to also take out large sums of money out of their account. One Sea Org member gained 3 credit cards at Chase Bank to pay for courses and went into debt by $59,500. Then after a while, started everybody to ask for their money. Then all of a sudden, everybody in Scientology, other than the wealthy ones, started to ask for their money. Then eventually, Chase stopped doing business with that organization. Then Chase Bank would blacklist Scientology merchants since that incident. Then around 2019, Chase Bank would catch on to what was going on and had turned around and changed its policies. So they shut down Scientology altogether. A bunch of salespeople for the organization had formed a method for applying several credit cards for Scientology. But in order to bring up a large outstanding balance for the future Scientology service, they would even have documents that had spelled to fool all the Chase Bank in a specific order to get a huge number of credit cards for people that have unwanted charges that those practice would name. That Chase had described how that was possible to even take out a credit card. Right before Chase even caught on up to what was going on, around late 2021, they would start getting information that was taking place in Scientology. That organization had committed fraud. Multiple people stepped forward after their story came out in the underground bunker. They all had been eyewitnesses to those activities or were victims by that cult. Once the Los Angeles org changed into a routine for almost all the orgs around the United States. Scientology had signed up for 25,000 of new news for 0% profit in 1 year, which they had accepted. Compare that when going into a used car lot and giving the salesperson your social security card with your number on it. Then you being amused by that car you had walked off with, but then you would pretty much be unsatisfied when you get your bill in the mail. This is what tactics that Scientology would use with one of the Sea Org members or with a new person that would join the organization. They used Chase Bank to conduct their scams, so they have upgraded their policies because of Scientology's huge scam. Since then, there was no other reason from other banks whether or not they are going to make any changes in their policies. Overall, Scientology never had to suffer any consequences. They are still running around, and we all know that law enforcement and the United States government, Congress, would look the other way while committing a crime. Even the bigger institutions and businesses are suffering big time because of all of Scientology's criminal activity. Only they have human rights violations to their own members. Then nevertheless, Chase would blacklist Scientology merchants since that in they would even have documents that had spelt to fool all the Chase banks in a specific order to get a huge number of the reason why they upgraded and changed some of their policies, because apparently they used their members, Sea Org members, and people who were employed by Scientology to actually use those people as a front into their scams. Ultimately, the organization had committed multiple frauds. People stepped forward right after the story came out in the underground. Then nevertheless, this is what tactics that Scientology would use with one of the Sea Org members or with a new person that would join the organization. Not religion, organization. Now, Scientology is not no religion. That's a cover for the criminal activity they're performing. It was dated back all the way to 1970 when they lost their tax-exempt status the first time around, and the IRS closed it out with Scientology and took this tax-exempt status away. In conclusion, there was no other response from other banks whether or not they are going to make any changes in their. Now, these are one of the crimes that Scientology would, even the bigger institutions, hurt by this because their customers are getting hurt, and some of them are Scientologists. Now, they also have them take out a second mortgage on their house, dip into their kids' college, and they have them take out money in their personal bank accounts as well. They would spend time squeezing money out of their conclusion. That's how Scientology run their scams and break. Okay, tomorrow, I think I'm going to bring you another We Stand Tall story. People standing up to Scientology and saying, or protest against them and stood tall against them. Now look at Club Brain Frog with the incident that she had with Scientology when that sandwich board fell on her. Now she's still a little bruised up, according to her. Of course, I am going to take a word because of Scientology's history. And she's the one experiencing the pain. And to top it off, they would claim to be the victim. Tune in tomorrow. So hit the like, press subscribe, and I'm definitely going to see you tomorrow. Bye.